just getting cozy. Hi everyone! Hello. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. My name is May, also known as 3 Stitches Short on Instagram and Ravelry, and this is the Stitching Tendencies podcast. Today is April 22nd. It's a Saturday. And I lost my train of thought. Okay, done with that. So today is April 22nd, 2023. It is a Saturday. It's been about 2.5 weeks since I have recorded, and we have a lot going on. We have a couple whips, a couple FOs, a couple cast-ons, a couple next focuses, quite a bit of acquisitions. I was naughty. Oh, I'm excited. So yeah, we have some acquisitions, we have a giveaway winner, yay! And then we have a new giveaway, because I am trying to pare down some stuff. And I think the best way to do that is to share that. Knitting has been such a wonderful community. I'm so blessed to have joined into this community, and I just think that sharing some of the wool that I am not going to be knitting is just one of the wonderful things that I've noticed in the knitting community. Like, everybody's so generous. So I'm just gonna start trying to pare this down and share that with you. Today I am just drinking water. This is literally my favorite little watermelon cup. It changes color with temperature, so I don't know, it changes really fast because the water in there is really cold, but you can see my handprint was kind of there for a second. It's so cool. Okay, so for those of you, everybody's choosing right now to drive by my window. So my office and craft room are right on the front of my house, and so every little person walking by with their dog or driving by, I get to see. And I love it. It's great. Except they're all driving by right now. Right now. Okay. So Scatterbrain May, let's bring it in. Okay. Oh, Hubby has decided that with enough peer pressure, we might be able to get him to make a guest appearance. So if you want to see my super funny husband and think that he would make an amazing addition to my tacky little podcast, please tell him in the comments. Seriously, you don't know because nobody's ever seen him, but holy crap, he is so funny. And I think he doesn't knit or crochet yet, but I think that his little commentary on everything would just make this podcast so much more fun. So, step 1 is to get him to join the podcast. Step 2 is to teach him how to knit. Help me, please. I really want this. Okay, so jumping in, I have some sewing to show with you guys today. I am super stoked about that. I have not fired up my machine in a minute. And I've got 2 finished knits. I've only got 1 whip that I'm really going to be showing. Yeah, and we'll go from there. Okay, so starting with my FOs. FO number 1. These are what I'm affectionately calling my Pumpkin King socks. This is the second pair of socks that I have made in this wool, and those are just my stitch markers that I use to count one every 10 rows. It just makes it easy. This is my second pair of socks that I have made in this wool. This wool is Pumpkin Patch from Hypnotic Yarns, Yarnable's October 2021 box. And I love these. So first of all, I think I got my gauge issues pretty much worked out. That's exciting. These are for my husband. So these are 72 stitches on 2mm needles. I did 11 rows for the cuff, 10 rows for the leg. He really likes shorties, so 10 rows for the leg. I did the shadow wrap heel from Denise with Earth Tones Girl. I did the shadow wrap heel from Earth Tones Girl, and that is my favorite go-to heel just because I don't like gussets. Gussets take too long. And so the shadow wrap heel, it gives you the look of like a cut-in heel, but it is like when you're done, you're done. So I did the shadow wrap heel. I did 55 or 60. Hold on. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, I did do, don't knock that over. I did 60 rows for the foot, and then I did the rounded toe from the Rose City roller pattern. However, if I'm not mistaken, the Rose City roller pattern is no longer available. It was a free pattern on Ravelry, but last I had heard from somebody who also used it, they went to go download it again so that they could, you know, use it, and the pattern was no longer on Ravelry. So I will look to see if I can find another rounded toe that is still currently available. It's a super easy, super satisfying toe. It makes things a little bit more round. For me, it gives a little bit extra room because my toes are like a square line almost, but they're just like a little, like each one tapers just a little bit. My foot's weird. I'm never going to show you guys my feet. This is the wrong channel for that anyway. But I really like how the rounded toe in the socks really does fit my feet really well. So this is, oh, and my husband's are kind of similar. So I do the same for his, like everything I do for mine, I do for his, except like I don't do any decreasing because he's got a wide foot, and I do 72 stitches instead of 64 to start on mine. So that is his. Look at how cute like that speckling is. That's so adorable. Those are my, I'm calling them the Pumpkin King socks. And all of my knitting and crochet projects are linked below with my show notes. So if you want more information about those socks, just click that link. Okay, FO numero 2. I wanted to say numero deux, but that's like Spanish and French like together. My language skills have been lacking lately. Anyway, these do not have woven toes. I think the tops are, nope, those aren't woven. I have not woven in ends. Naughty me. But these are my Belfast socks. These are my April Desert Vista dye work socks. Again, the stitch markers are just counting my rows. One stitch marker equals 10 rows. So these I cast on 64 stitches, and I do 15 rows in the cuff, although I'm thinking about increasing that to maybe 20 rows on my next pair. We'll see. And then after the cuff, I decrease to 60 stitches. I do 60 stitches for 65 rounds, and then I go down to 56 stitches. I do 56 stitches for 4 rounds, or 5 rounds, sorry. And then I do my shadow wrap heel. And then I carry the 56 stitches all the way down through the foot. I do 50 rows for the feet, and then I do the same rounded toe for my toes. Now these were like almost exactly one stripe off, maybe a little bit more than one stripe off, like you can see where the stripes were, but honestly they match close enough, and it's all in the same order that I don't mind it entirely. So honestly, I think I'm kind of okay just like carrying on without making them matchy. Like they're close enough that I don't mind. So these were my Belfast socks. And I remember laughing so hard when I realized that Belfast was a city in, I think, Ireland. Because I thought it was something else, and I can't remember what I thought it was. But I just laughed. Like when I realized my mistake, I just laughed so freaking hard at myself. And that's, honestly, I love that. I love laughing at myself. Because if you don't laugh, you cry. So, alright, so these are finished object number 2. And apparently I need to weave in some ends tonight. So, yay! And my eye's gonna itch. Woohoo! I hate like when your eye itches and like you physically cannot scratch it. Like if I scratch my eye, I will go blind. Okay, so the next one is, maybe it's a faux. It's like a third of a finished object. Like they're individually, I've got 2 finished pieces, but I've got 6 pieces total. So it's kind of like a faux. Like it's a third of a finished object. Forget this hoe crap. We got faux. Okay, so my husband has been doing a lot of renovating on our house, and I am so freaking happy about that. He ripped up all by himself. He ripped up all the bushes in the front and side of our house. And these bushes have been here for probably like 60 years because the house is like 66 years old. So these bushes have probably been here for like 60 years, and they were not well maintained. When the bushes continued to overgrow and take up the walkway, the prior owners just laid new cement and created a secondary walkway. It was weird. So he's got all of those up, and he has got all of the side like completely gutted out, and it's amazing. I can't wait to put like some new flower beds or garden beds or whatever I'm going to put there. I can't wait to do that. And we have a nice little like area in the front of the house where I can put like a sitting bench and I can watch the girls play in the yard. So I'm so excited about that. But on his side of the house, he is now getting a lot of sun into the basement, and it's causing glaring on his work screens and his gaming screens and his TV screen. The kid's got a lot of screens down there. He's got a lot of screens. And that's just because he works down there and he plays his video games down there, and we do movie nights down there sometimes. So he asked for curtains, and I bought the curtains knowing that I bought the fabric knowing that this was going to be the eventuality. And so without further ado, these are, look at that. So this is one panel. It's about 40 inches wide and about 28 inches long. And I backed them with flannel because these are in the basement. And so like those windows are right up against the snow in the winter. So I wanted just a little extra cushioning to help keep some of the cold out. So he picked out this fabric. And what I really liked about this fabric is that it's directional, like horizontally, and like one panel is exactly the width of fabric. And then I could customize the length of the panel, you know? But it's not a vertical direction. If you look, like the characters go up and down. Like sometimes they're upside down, sometimes they're the right way. And I really, really liked that because it made it a little easier for me to like put everything. It made it less of a challenge and less of a worry for me making sure everything was facing the right way. That's what I'm trying to say. So this is panel 1, and I've also got panel 2, and this is all done. There are 6 panels total. And so when I measured, I was like, oh yeah, 4 panels should be totally fine. Should be fine, right? I was wrong. And so I had only bought 4 panels worth of fabric. And I'm like, hey, so we have a problem. This is, you know, I've got 4 panels worth of fabric. We need 5 panels. And he goes, okay, well, let's just go get more. And I was like, well, the fabric you picked was a last chance licensed fabric. I can't guarantee that there is any more of that. And he's like, oh, so what do we do? I'm like, well, I mean, we could do contrast panels because there's one window that technically only needs 3 panels, but I was going to make 2 contrast panels, and so you'd have like this fabric on the outsides and then a solid blue like the color of Marge's hair on the inside. So it would go like Simpsons, solid Simpsons. And well, he's like, okay, yeah. I showed him a picture of another like design. It was totally different, but it would give him an idea of kind of what I was talking about. And he's like, okay, yeah, that'll work. We can do that. And so I'm like, great. I finished these 2 panels because these 2 panels will go to that one window. And then I will finish the other 2 panels I have cut after we've picked out a second fabric, because I'm the type that, these ones are going to be the same size and they're going to be on that same window. I am so afraid of messing up that I want to get all the panels for each window, like to the point where all I have to do is the bottom hem, and then do all the hems at the same time, just so that way I can like triple, double super check and make sure that all the panels are the same length, because I don't want like this panel to be here. Like if they're close enough, it's fine, but I don't want to be like, okay, this panel's here, but this panel's here, and you're just gonna have to deal with that like 2-inch difference. So I got, in my mind, it was supposed to be, these 2 panels for that one window. And so I got those done. And then he's like, what if we use a different fabric altogether? What if I had one window, one panel that was Simpsons, and like one panel that's Family Guy or Futurama. And I'm like, I don't think they make those fabrics, at least not at Joann's. I can totally custom order something from like Spoonflower if that's what you really want. But I don't think that that is something that's readily available from Joann's. And he goes, well, let's go see what they got. And so this is cutting into a little bit of whips, a little bit of acquisitions. So I have technically 2 more panels of this ready to go. But he decided that he would rather have a contrasting, like a completely separate contrasting fabric. And when we got there, he couldn't find one that he liked in a different theme. There was, they had Star Wars, they had South Park, they had a lot of like licensed themes, but he did not find one that he liked. And so he settled on another Simpsons fabric, and this is the one he chose. And he wants both windows to alternate panels. And so what I'll probably do, because there's going to be 2 panels on the other window of the same, I'll probably use these for the bigger window and just make, you know, it's really not going to matter. I'm sure I can get them to match enough. But these are like, hold on, let me, okay. These are going to be the 2 fabrics, kind of like a light and a dark side of it. And they both are going to have the flannel lining in them. And that is the same. He said it wasn't the same. And I'm looking at it now, and that is definitely the same flannel. So I'm glad I got the same blue. They have like 30 shades of blue, and I'm like, oh my God, which one is it? So they're gonna have the same flannel backing to help keep the cold out of the basement. And so I have to make 3 panels with this, and then I have to make 1 more panel with this fabric. And that will be, I'm hoping to maybe get that done tomorrow, because we're about to have, from what I can see, another like frosty storm. It's supposed to, like, it's in the 50s currently, but I think it's supposed to get back down into like the 40s or 30s, and it's gonna storm and rain and be cold and gross. So I'm hoping I can get this done like tonight or tomorrow, but we'll see. Thankfully, sewing doesn't take as long as knitting. I am so thankful for that. Okay, let me just finish folding this. All right, on to my lonely little singular whip. Well, kind of whip, like kind of only whip. Like the sewing is a whip. I'm working on those curtains. Yeah, anyway, so one of our favoriteest cousins is getting married next month, and I adore his fiance. And so I put all my other projects pretty much like on the side, and I am working almost exclusively on this. Socks don't count. I absolutely will pick up a sock or a hat occasionally just to be like, okay, I need something different. But I am obsessed with this, guys. Look at this. Look at it. Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh, I love it. And I am so happy with the design, that it's working out well. So this is my Love is Triangular pattern. It is currently to the testers right now. And I am hoping to release this in June I have another very similar but different shape and design. So it's similar but different. but this is going to be part of my Love is Love collection. So while this is for my favoriteest cousin's fiance for their wedding, the others, I have somebody who is testing it in the aromantic colors, and I am obsessed with how amazing that looks. I am going to put a picture of my tester's progress here. She's doing it in the Aero flag colors, which are green, white, and gray. I have another person who, and she's striping it. I have another person who is doing it in a, like an ombre fade, like a giant cake, and it just fades from, I think it goes from like yellow to purple to black, and it is a gorgeous colorway. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see how that one works up in this pattern. And I have somebody else who is testing it, and they are working in, she gave me a couple options. I can't remember if she's doing the bi pride flag colors, or in the traditional pride flag colors, one of those, and I am freaking obsessed. Oh my goodness, like these are all looking so amazing, and I cannot wait to finish this. I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just finished the sixth motif. I have it written in this one to have, I believe my pattern calls for a total of 15 motifs. So I'm a little bit less than halfway there with this one. But I am hoping, like I said, I've really buckled down. There was quite a few days that were really just get the pattern written, make sure it's right, get it out to test knitters before I could get back to actually working on this. So I have until May 19th to get this done. I've only got about 9 more repeats, and so like 30 days, 9 repeats. I'm pretty sure that I can get this done in about 30 days. So this is what I'm pretty much going to be exclusively working on until it's finished, because they are having a destination wedding in the Cayman Islands, and like it's very, very small for who's actually going to be there, unfortunately, with 2 littles, one of whom is medically fragile. It's just not something we were going to be able to do. So I really want to get this finished. That way my aunt can give this to her. Oh, and it is so soft. Okay, so little bit of details. I am working this on my Chiagu red lace interchangeables. I am using a 4mm needle, and I am holding lace weight double. You can see that. I am using Rowan Kid Silk Haze. I don't think it has a color name. I don't see a color name. I just see like Romania. I think the color name is like 00580, and the lot number is 59148. I mean, that's just what I'm getting from there. I don't think you can see that. There, maybe you can see that. So that is the pink color that I'm using. And then the cream that I'm using is Sheep Gist Alpaca Rhythm, which is 80% alpaca, 20% extra fine wool. And this is color name Bop. It's color 670, lot 8026. And like, that's a little like, she's a very soft ballerina type pink girl. And this is that color, but it's a little like brighter than like you would anticipate for like a wedding color. So I paired it with the cream to soften it up. And I mean, like, you can tell that's the color, but it's just such a softened, muted color of that. And it is so lovely. Part of me is like, I want to keep it for myself. I love it so much. So when it's done, it should be measuring about, I think by my calculations, it should be about 70 across and about 60 deep. Yes, it's like a spring wedding. Yes, they're having it in the Cayman Islands, but when they come back, they're supposed to have some sort of like family reception. And so the nights here in Ohio, at least, can get quite chilly. I don't know about the Cayman Islands, but I figured this will just be a nice little, it's really, really lightweight, like super lightweight, very drapey. I thought this would just be a nice little thing for her. And my husband did the math on it. I got a little bit in trouble. So this is probably the most expensive piece I have ever knit. Because when you hold it together, like, yes, you're holding it together so it's 50 grams, but really it's only 25 grams. Like, you know what I mean? So even if you said like 150-gram ball, you're looking at like, I can't remember. So 16, and this was like 8, I think, like 16 and 8. So you're looking at like $24 for 50 grams of wool. Now, thankfully, these are lace weight, so they're like double the meterage and yardage of like a fingering skein. So like, you know, this is 200 meters. This one's 200 meters. This one's 210 meters. And so like, when you're holding them together, 50 grams of this being knit equals 50 grams of like a fingering weight being knit. It's still 200 grams. So it's like $24 for, you know, 50 grams of knitting, which makes it like $50 for 100 grams of wool. That's definitely the most expensive. It's definitely the most expensive thing I've ever knit. And I kind of really, really love it. And I definitely over purchased, and that's part of the problem, because he realized I over purchased at the same point I realized I over purchased. So I bought 200 grams of each, and I think I'm only gonna need about 100 grams of each total, because 100 grams of each total gives me the same as 200 grams of fingering weight. Because like it literally goes further. So I don't know what exactly I'm going to do with the extras. In the past, I have sometimes like exchanged my extra wool, because I bought this from my little wool shop, and they have been so gracious in the past to allow me to exchange like my over purchase into another project. I did that with my what is this one called? The sheep just that I bought for my my long summer cardigan. The wool just didn't work out the way I wanted it to, and so they allowed me to exchange it for some extra of a different color so I could make a blanket with it instead. And they were so gracious and allowed me to do that. But I think this is even older than that. And I think I would feel too guilty to be like, yeah, I just want to exchange this wool I bought like a year and a half ago. I finally knit it and I bought too much. So I've got to try to figure out, maybe I'll try to destash the extra when I'm done, because I honestly don't see me doing anything else with this. One, it's just not very practical. It's definitely a special occasion knit. And two, it's costly. And I would feel bad, like, beyond the wedding, and like, we know wedding things are expensive, like, so like, here's an expensive, like, be careful with this shawl, is one thing for like a wedding gift, but just like on the regular, be like, oh yeah, I also made you a matching pair. Like, what would you even make with that would be like acceptable for like everyday use? I don't know. And I think I'm gonna have like 100 grams, which of that specific, like the mohair specifically by itself, 100 grams of that is like $60. Like 100 grams of the mohair is $60. That's expensive. That is almost a sweater for me. And then when I add in the extra of the alpaca, that's another like $30. I'll have like close to $90 worth of wool that I have no idea what to do. And no idea of what to make with it. So I'll probably try to destash that. Maybe I'll talk to my wool shop and be like, hey. And if they do, then I'll probably pick up a sweaters quantity. Or maybe another blanket. Because I need more blankets, right? Anyway, yeah, so that is what I'm currently working on. I have until May 19th to get it done and blocked and ready to go. I think I can do it. I think I can do it, especially if I don't make it. Like, she is not entirely a large person. I don't think she may need the whole 70 inches that I wrote the pattern to be. So I think I'm going to take it as I go. And when I get to like what wraps well around me unblocked, maybe I'll block it at that point and then, you know, see how it is. We'll see. Because like, I wrote the pattern to be a really massive shawl, but I don't think she needs a massive shawl for a spring summer wedding. Does that make sense? Am I crazy? Probably. I don't know. I mean, I'm sitting here talking to myself for like an hour, so we'll see. But yeah, the curtains and the shawl are kind of like the only things I've actually sat there and focused on lately. Once I finish focusing on that, I've got 2 more lingering whips that I'm kind of like, okay, done. I am ready to focus on these and get them done. And this is actually, the first one is what I'm calling Love is Asymmetrical. And these are on, I'm going to be frogging this again. This will be like the 3rd or 4th time I frogged it. Because it just didn't work out the way I necessarily intended it to. But this is the original Love is Love shawl that I started with. This one is an asymmetrical shawl. And I think a couple things I'm going to do. First of all, instead of having it, I don't know, I'm going to talk to some friends, but I think instead of having it start way at the bottom, like at the tippy tip, I think I may start it like here and have more of a flat edge here. I don't know. I really like the triangle. Like, I really like the really pointy edge. But at the same time, I'm not entirely like the biggest fan of like how long it takes to get to the first heart. And I think that's just a me thing. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So this was my original idea for the Love is Love shawl. And this is also going to be so amazing when it's done. I love the design. I just have to work a few kinks out of it. The first time I did it, the heart peaks, the peaks on the heart were not balanced, and so that kind of threw things off. And then this is the second attempt. I figured out how to balance my peaks, but then the motif was too close to the cables. And so I have to go back and remath it to give me a few stitches on each side. Very similar to, this is what I mean, like the same but different. Very similar to how this one has a few stitches on each side. I'm gonna go back and remath this one to give me a few stitches on each side. So those are like a couple things I gotta work out. First issue was I balanced the peaks. Yay. Now I have to balance the motif to the cables. And then I have to figure out what I want to do. If I want to keep this more long-ish tail, which I really, really do like that tail. I am not against that tail, not one bit. But I gotta figure out, do I want to keep the tail that long, or do I want to maybe like start it a little bit like not as far down? I don't know. So this is going to be my next like thinking focus project to get this done. My goal, like if I'm being real with myself, I really think that 6 repeats more will make this the perfect size for that cousin, given what I know about her height and her like general sizing. I think it's going to be great after 6 more repeats. And if that's true, I think I can probably get this finished by the end of April. If that finishes out and checks out by April, then my May goal would be to get this pattern figured out and to my testers by May 15th. That way, when I launch the first one, when I launch the Love is Love collection in June, I'm going to launch the individual patterns, but I'm also thinking I'm going to launch an ebook. And then what I kind of want to do is every like couple weeks or maybe once a week launch one of the new patterns, because I have 3 shawls. I have a rectangular shawl, a triangular shawl, a asymmetrical shawl. I've got an infinity cowl, or an infinity scarf. I've got a regular scarf. I've got like 2 different types of cowls. I've got like 2 hats, 2 pairs of socks, and a set of mitts, like all like using the heart motif. And I really, 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 really can't wait to get these like completely ready. It's gonna like, it's a lot in my head that I'm doing, but I think it's going to be so worth it. And I'm so super excited about this. I think once I get this done, you know, there's going to be all of these patterns, so I think I'm okay setting it up as an ebook, kind of like what I've seen, who was it that did that? Stephen West has done that a couple times. I think a couple other people I've seen have done it a couple times as well, where they launch the ebook and then do the pattern releases like staggered out for a while. And I think I might do something similar to that, because it really is one whole collection that I'm working on. And I'm so excited to get these patterns out to people. So some asymmetrical shawl is my next focus. I might be changing up the wool I'm doing it on, because at this point, I think I just need to change things up on it. So we'll see. And then my next focus, for those of you who don't know, I did go back to work full-time. I got a really good promotion, which came with quite a pay raise, and I'm so excited about that. So that means instead of working 1 to 2 days a week, I am now back to work 4 days a week, which means I need something mindless and small to work on. And so my workday focus is going to be my litmus cowl. This cowl is written by Jude Harper, and it is available on Ravelry, and it's a free pattern. So if you haven't already, I would go over and get it. I am using my 31 Days of Myths Advent colors from Dragon Horde Yarns. This was her 2021. Did I do too many rows here? That looks a lot wider. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, it's the right number of rows. Let me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, no, it's all this right number of rows. I don't know why that one looks wider than the other ones, or maybe that's just my perception. I don't know. So this is 10 contrast colors in, and I am doing my leftovers of the Advent from Dragon Horde Yarns, and then I am doing a gradient of some of my leftover grays from other various projects. I started with Coal Miner's Daughter by Lolo Did It, and this was the leftovers of what I actually did this project in. Yeah, and then I'm doing this color is Grayscale by Emma's Yarns, and it's just like a little bit of a shade lighter. And then the next color I will do is this silver from Trilogy Yarns. And then the last color that I'll do is, this is a very, very pale gray. It's almost like an off-white color, shade of gray. And so it's, okay. So it's like, it's definitely going to gradient all the way. I was only able to get, I think, 6 out of Coal Miner's Daughter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was only able to get 7 out of Coal Miner's Daughter, and I needed to get 8 out of it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get 9 out of this. I think if I get 9 out of this, I'll be fine. I don't think I'm going to get more than 7 out of this. So I have to like measure and get what I'm going to do. These are all kind of like slightly different bases. Coal Miner's Daughter was 75-25. Grayscale is an 80-20. Silver, I think, is actually an 80-10-10. Merino Cashmere Nylon. And then this one from Robin's Promise I know is 75-25. So they're all like slightly different bases. And so like the weights are going to be a little different. But I'm gonna measure and see like how much I use in one of the repeats and see if I'm able to, I think I did like, I did 7 in Robin's, I did 7 in Lolo Did It. I think if I do 8 in the other ones, it's fine. I know for a fact anything I'm missing, I can just do this color a little heavier because I have more of this than anything else. So on the pattern, it indicates that one repeat, one of these sections is like 11 rounds is 5 grams. And I think that's held pretty true for me while I'm knitting. So I'll probably just use that as an estimate to figure out if I'll have enough. But we'll figure out. I don't know. But this is going to be like, so my work days, I only work 4 days a week, yay. But my work hours are 10-hour days. So I'm hoping to do like one full repeat. A repeat is a color, like a contrast and a main. I'm hoping to do one full repeat a day at work. And if I'm able to achieve that, I'll be done in about 20 days or 21 days, which is about 4 weeks. A little bit more than 4 weeks. And then I'd have to graft it together. And so yeah, I think I can get that done relatively quickly. Honestly, with the way that I knit, I can probably get 2 repeats done a day, but I'll be happy with 1 repeat a day. All right. So that is that. And this is living in a cute little Knit for Brains bag. So this is a Knit for Brains bag. And this is a Knit for Brains bag. I don't know if you can tell. I really like Knit for Brains because that's a Knit for Brains bag, and that's a Knit for Brains bag, and that's a Knit for Brains bag. I have a problem with Knit for Brains. Absolutely. And then this is my Hohi, but this is my Hohi bucket. I love my Hohi bucket. She did a very small run of the teal blue colors, and I got one, and I am so in love with it. Okay, so that is my next focuses. My goal is to make my whip tray bare before I really get too far into any new cast-ons. I'm finding I actually do like it better when I'm only really working on one or two things at a time, like one big thinking project like my shawl, and then one like vanilla like my socks, just so that I have something. And so I think having the shawls and then my litmus cow being my vanilla project, I think that is enough vanilla that I'll be able to switch between those two like focus projects. And then when I finish one focus project, I can move on to the other. And then when I finish one vanilla project, I have, what is that, one more vanilla project that I can work on. And then, no, I've got a few more, but like getting things done, like, I don't know. I can't even like articulate the way I'm trying to think about this. I just know that like one thinking project and one vanilla project is like the most, one sprinkles, one vanilla. I think that's the way I'm gonna call it. Like I'm ordering ice cream or something. Okay, so next up is my future cast-ons. I've only got one. I promise I'm gonna be good. Maybe. I don't know. I keep saying I'm gonna be good and I'm not. So I don't know. But my only future cast-on I have planned, and I'm gonna reveal this now because you probably won't see me again until I just got an important message. Sorry. I probably won't see you again until May, and so next time you see this, it'll probably already be cast on. But my May Desert Vista Dye Works, I am going to do this one. This is Scooby, Dooby, Zombody Do, and Lisa knit all the yarn did this a while ago, and I'm just like, oh my god, I love that so much. And so I'm like, yes, click, 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 bye. And so this is one that I ordered in January to round out what I have for the year. And I'm so happy that I did. I love the way these looked for Lisa, and I'm super excited to knit these up for myself. So this is my only future cast on, because right now I think my focus is to get my whips under control, and I have more whips than I can even talk about in a single day. So that is that. All right, so next we are going to do the giveaways. We have some giveaway results. Last podcast, I decided I think I really want my wool subscriptions back, given the change of the circumstances and how happy that little dopamine kick at the beginning of the month really made me. I felt like it was definitely something that I could accomplish, and so I put the poll out there of Yarnable and Sock Yarn Society. If you could only get one, or if I could only get one back, which one should I get? And the winner of that was Megan Hip. So Megan, if you're watching, go ahead and shoot me an email at God, what's my email? 3stitches. Wait, what's my name? 3stitchesshort@gmail.com. It's the number 3. 3stitchesshort@gmail.com. And I will get you your lovely prize. This is Wildflowers from Hypnotic Yarns Yarnable. This was, I think this was June. No, this wasn't June. This might have been like April or May of last year. I know June she does something a little fun there. So this was probably April or May of last year. It's called Wildflowers. I really love that pink. Oh, so yummy. And that little yellow, I have been coming more and more around the yellow lately. I noticed in my backyard, I have some daffodils that are just growing wildly, and I'm like, that's so cool. I want those. So I've been coming more and more around the yellow. I've never really been a yellow person, but I think that's such a unique, like, bright pop. So, Megan, email me and let me know your address so I can ship this out to you. Now, on the note of that poll, I did something bad. I got both. They both happened to open up for new subscriptions, and you can only subscribe, even if you've been a previous subscriber, you can only subscribe or reactivate your subscription while they're open. And so I had a serious case of FOMO when they both opened up. And I think, so I messaged Lori, who is Arkansas Yarn Co., who's the dyer behind the Sock Yarn Society. And I'm like, hey, so I kind of canceled my subscription because of my circumstances, but they kind of changed. Can I pretty please get my subscription back? I need my wool like dose every month, please. And Lori is such a sweetheart. Guys, seriously, if you have not followed Arkansas Yarn Co. or their podcast or their shop, or if you're in Arkansas, please go visit them. Lori and her girls there are such sweethearts. Oh my goodness, I love them so much. I was having some issues because I do dye my wool sometimes, and I was having some issues getting a semi-solid tonal color. And so like I messaged Lori on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, I am having a really hard time. Can you please help me figure out what I'm doing wrong? And Lori is such a sweetheart. She says, absolutely, let's figure this out. So she gave me some tips and tricks on how to get more of a tonal semi-solid color, and it worked so freaking good. Like, I am so amazed and so impressed, and now I can make semi-solid tonals. And that's so exciting. And it's so exciting watching her excitement over my success. Like, Lori always says, community over competition. We're all in this together. There's plenty of pie to go around, and I love that mentality. Tina from Tina's Twisted Fibers also has this same type of mentality, and I so badly appreciate those ladies. Oh, is my nail chipped? No, that was just a reflection. Okay. I so badly appreciate those ladies with that mentality that like, hey, we're all like fighting the same battle. We're all just doing what we can. Let's do it together. Let's help everybody out. And I just love that mentality. I love the assistance that they have given me. Lori with Arkansas Yarn Co. especially has just been over the top helpful, and I so absolutely appreciate it. So Lori, if you're watching, thank you so freaking much. So much. Couple of things Lori did ask me to share with you guys. They are actually doing a retreat in September. It's going to be, I believe she said it's the 7th through the 8th. It's going to be very, very small. They're only going to have like 45 spots. So if you are an Arkansas Yarn Co. or Sock Yarn Society fangirl, or fan person, my apologies, please go subscribe to their newsletter. You're probably already subscribed, honestly, but stay tuned and look for updates about that retreat. It is going to be so amazing, and I am so jealous. I can't go. Like, she told me, I said something along the lines of, oh my gosh, I wish I lived closer. I would be in your shop all the time. And she goes, we're doing a retreat. You should join us. And I'm like, that's the weekend right before my daughter starts kindergarten. And so we are going to be prepping for school, and she is medically fragile. So I need to make sure like she knows all of the things to do if anything were to happen. And I'm sure it's going to be fine, but I have severe anxiety, and I could not leave my child like right before she goes off to school. So I'm very sad to say I will not be at the Arkansas Yarn Co. Retreat in September, but I hope everybody who does get to go has so much fun. Like, seriously, these girls are amazing. Please check them out if you haven't. If you're a fangirl, let me know. I say fangirl because we kind of get that like mentality, but everybody can be a fangirl. You don't have to be a girl to be a fangirl. Okay, so that is I don't even remember what I started rambling. I don't even remember. But yeah, so on to acquisitions. Yay. Okay, so a couple things that I got. A whole big box, or a whole big bag. this is a really cool little gadget. Look at this. Oh my gosh. So I have been asked a few times if I do tutorials or if I teach and how I do. And so I purchased this little hey look, there's a T-pin. I purchased this little doohickey. And it, okay. So it's, look at that. And you can do, oh, that's right. I'm trying to remember how to do this. How do you do this? Oh, I'm pulling too hard, May. It has like this, it extends like ridiculously. And it's got this little arm. And the arm bends down. Let me pull it up a little so you can see. And like your phone goes in here. And it's got a little remote that you can Bluetooth to your phone and control the camera. And it's got, do that. Okay, it's been sitting off for a minute. Maybe it needs to be charged. I don't know. But, oh, is it not working now? It probably needs to be charged. I have not charged this since I got it. That makes sense because I don't remember turning it off last time. But it's got a light on this side and a light on this side. So depending on what you're doing, you can, is that a camera in it? Guys, I think I just found a camera in it. Like that looks like a camera. Or is that like the infrared sensor? I don't know. Okay, now I'm getting like, I'm playing with it too much. Anyway, so I got this to help me be able to record videos, like to help with like camera angling so I can have a free hand when I'm trying to do things. But yeah, this was really cool. And this was only like $50 on Amazon. And I'm like, heck yeah, that's so fun. I cannot wait to start being able to use this a bit. And it's pink. I really like this shade of pink is so nice. Okay, I am not putting it there. It won't fit there. Then I forgot to show this. I think I got this in March. This is the Fat Quarter Shop's quarterly cross stitch kit. I can't remember what it's called, like in actuality. Stitch Quarterly. And so this is, look at those blooms, those are so pretty. This is the bag that it came with. And it came with this pattern. It came with, this is hand-dyed 14 count Aida. The colorway is called Cream and Sugar. Look at that. That's such a cute little color. It's super soft. I think this is fiber. Oh, it is Fiber on a Whim. And they have really soft hand-dyed cross-stitch fabric. And then it came with the floss. And it always comes with a needle. I do not use these needles. If you need cross-stitch needles, I have a few. Let me know. I am happy to share. It also came with this, it's kind of like a luggage label, but it's like designed to be clipped to the zipper pull. So like you can like tag your projects. And I think that's really, really nifty. So like you don't have to open each one to know what it is. You can like, there's this little card in here. And you can make other additional cards and you can just write what the project is and put it on the card and then put it in there. It's like a luggage tag for your project bags. And I think that's so nifty. And then finally, the last thing it came with was this needle minder. That is so cute. I love these little like blooms. I want to know what kind of flowers those are because I do love them. They are so cute. So I have not been cross stitching lately, and the reason is because I'm actually really overwhelmed with my knit tree. So like I have like 3 or 4 other project bags over there with like 3 other started cross stitches. And I just don't have it in me to do this because this is really just a frilly just for fun thing where knitting has a practical use. I'm making hats, I'm making garments, I'm making shawls, you know? So like I feel bad working on this when I have all of this to work on. And that's something that I am like internally struggling with. So we'll see how I combat that soon, hopefully. Okay, so the next thing I got was, oh my god, I'm so excited for this. 52 weeks of socks. This is volume 1. It doesn't say volume 1 because I don't know if they were planning on doing it. They've recently done a volume 2. And I told myself I can't buy volume 2 until I knit through volume 1. So, one of the things I will soon start doing, probably once I get like my whip tree under control, is I think I'm going to randomly generate a pair of socks at a time. And so I'll just roll dice and figure out which pair I'm going to knit. And I will just knit my way through this book. I think that is a really interesting and fun way to try new sock patterns, because right now I pretty much only knit vanilla socks. I will occasionally do a sock test, like when somebody has something coming out and they're looking for testers. If I'm feeling spicy, sure, I'll go ahead and do a sock test. But I really want to widen my variety and sock knitting skills. So I think one of the great ways to do that would be to knit my way through this book. So that is that. And then, okay, so when I when I messaged Lori on Instagram, I was like, hey, do you happen to have any April extras for Sock Yarn Society? And she's like, yeah, I actually, what months were you missing? I think we have extras of everything so far. And I'm like, well, I got January, but it would be super awesome if I could get February, March, and April. And she's like, absolutely. And I'm like, my heart sang with joy. And so the next day she sent me the invoice and I paid for the wool, and like literally 3 days later this showed up and I am so excited, guys. Okay, so this was not that. This was February, and I don't know where this goes. This is a cute little like macaron stitch marker holder, and this is really cute. My daughter was playing with it. It came with one of these 3. I don't know which one. My daughter plays with my stuff. But this was February, and it came with some conversation hearts. It came with, of course, the wool. Oh my god, look at that. This is so totally me. It's called Let's Give Them Something to Talk About. I get the Yummy plush, which is $85.15. It's my favorite base. It's like the one I dye in most, personally. And again, thank you to Lori for sharing the source with me, so that I can have that dye base. But it's got purples and blue and pink, and it is just a fun, fun color. It also came with a little Sock Yarn Society sticker. I'm going to add that to my little craft cart. And the the stitch markers. One says Be Mine, and then the other is the Ryzen Arkansas State mold. God, I can't do this. Okay. Get it? It has got little heartsies. That's not focusing. I think it's still trying to find a face, but look how cute that is. And then it also came with this super cute, it's a cute little heart magnet, and these are definitely handmade. I don't know who exactly made them. There wasn't a card in this one like there is in some of the other ones. But this cute little handmade heart came with it, and I'm like, I love that. And it's got a magnet on it, so I think if I paired it with like one of my other, I think if I paired it with one of the backings, I could possibly use that as like a needle minder with my cross stitch, and that would be so amazing to me. So that was February. March was this one. Yes, March 2023. It had this really cool card. It's got a card with the list of the label, a list of the extras, and then it came with 2 patterns actually. This one is from Grace, with Grace Made Designs. She is an amazing, and there's nothing, I'm not giving anything away, that's just the stitch definitions or and stuff. But these are, I think she calls them the friendship mitts. And this is a cabled fingerless mitt pattern. And then this one is also by Grace. And these are the Friendship Crochet fingerless mitts. I'm going to cover part of it because that does have some pattern on the front, but look at those. Those are so cute. I am so in love with it. Grace is such a great, loving person. Like, she is so lovely. And it is so fun to talk with her. There was one night we were on Zoom, like, literally until 2 a.m. And I'm just like, I have to go to bed. I have a newborn who's going to be waking up soon for a feeding. And she goes, oh yeah, sleep. We should do that. So anyway, so it came with those patterns. It came, I think this is the one with the macaron. It came with some tea. It came with, oh my god, this stitch marker is my favorite. Look at that. This is the Arkansas State Ryzen stitch marker that they do. And that is like my absolute favorite shade. And then the other one that I got this month, or for March, was a little rainbow. And I love that. It's so cute. And then it came with one of the extras for March. Oh, my leg is asleep. Is this beautiful. Look how gorgeous that gray is. This is called Stormy Weather. And then the main skein is based on a blue. I love blue bases. They are so fun. And this is Friends Are the Rainbow After the Storm. And look at the blue base and the rainbow speckles. I absolutely love it. So, yeah, and yep, nope, that's all of it. Okay, so that was March, which means the macaron must have, yeah, obviously I found the one that the macaron goes in. So this is April 2023, and it came with the, whoop, whoop, it ran away, like literally ran away to the door. It came with the macaron stitch marker holder. It came with a fruit scented pin. Cool berry drops. I actually didn't realize that this was scented. I got it and then like I saved it for you guys. I didn't take, I took, they were all in the same bag. So like I took them out of that bag that I didn't really like open and explore. Oh my God. It's a fruit scented pen. And it's a gel pen. It's a gel pen and it's fruit scented. I think this just became, and it's gray. So I really think this just became my favorite pen. Okay. It came with needle huggers, which are these. Oh, and they're also in my favorite color. So you put these on the tips of your needles to hug them and like keep them together so that your stitches stay safe. When you put your project down, that's kind of, there we go. That's probably better. Look at those. It came with a small jelly bean, assorted flavors, and they are not Birdie Bots, so they might be safe to eat. Oh, okay. So this is kind of cool to know. For people who are have food sensitivities and allergies, Jelly Bellies are made in a peanut-free factory. That is, I don't think that's going to focus, but that is really interesting to know. I did not know. And you can take a Jelly Belly factory tour. Where is Jelly Belly? Where is this? I want to go. California. Manufactured at the Jelly Belly Candy Company, 1 Jelly Belly Lane in Fairfield, California. Maybe I'll go visit my brother. My brother lives in California. Maybe I'll go visit him and we'll take a Jelly Belly tour. Okay. Then it came, they always come with tea. I love this. Like, that's so fun. It came with a cute little chapstick holder, and they pre-filled it with chapstick for you, which is really cool. It says it's cherry flavor, but I don't know, like, it could be cherry. I don't eat cherries. Hey. Oh, hi. Yeah, I am just about done. Okay. You want to come say hi?
Maybe next week.
He's teasing me now. He's teasing me now. Okay, so, yeah, so it's probably cherry. I don't know what cherries taste like, but the candy flavor of cherry tastes good, I guess. And then, oh my God, I love these. Look at this cute little. Okay, any millennials who watch remember the I'm a gummy bear, yes, I'm a gummy bear. I love that song, and this instantly reminded me of that song. And then the Arkansas State one. I love the shade of pink. Like, I've not been a pink person in a long time. I think I liked hot, like bright, obnoxious pink in high school. And then I had my son Logan in 2012, and I kind of got on the aqua teal type train. But pink has slowly been creeping back into a favorite. I'll say I do still prefer like aqua and teal and lavender, but pink is getting back in there. Anyway, so the full skein for April 2023 is called How Sweet It Is. And look at that. Oh my goodness, look how cute that is. I love it. I love it. And so I don't know exactly what I want to do yet. Where's my other ones? Where are they? So I have quite a few. This up here is where I was putting my my Sock Yarn Society wools previously. But I think I want to do like one project. Like I want to take the wool from each year and make like a massive blanket with it. Or maybe I'll take just part of it. Because like 12 skeins, if I did like 12 50-gram skeins, that's a lot of wool. And then I could still do like a pair of socks with them too. Because like for my full length socks, I only need about 50 grams. So I might do that. Okay, so that is, that is the end of catching up with Sock Yarn Society. And I will get another box in May. Now, the last little bit that I got, this I actually just got today. I took my husband to Joann's to pick out that contrast fabric. And I found this and I could not say no. So I got 3 skeins. Look how cute these are. So this one is 100% cotton. This one is 100% cotton. And this one is 94% cotton, 6% lurex. And it is sparkly. Look at that shimmer, 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 shimmer. And so they were $10 each. And I decided I would make some new like washcloths for the bathroom. I got unicorn colors for my girls. I got the aqua and purpley and blue colors. That's reading a lot more like turquoise and blue, but it's got more of a purple hue when you're looking. I don't know, maybe that is pretty accurate. Yeah, I guess it is more of an aqua and purple or aqua and blue than it is like blue and purple. But I still love it. So this is going to be for me. And then this is going to be some new washcloths for my mom. And that is the end of the, that's the end of the acquisitions. I can't think. That's part of my problem. All right. So, new giveaway time. Yay! I am going to do this. Look at this. This was hand dyed, a collaboration between me and my 4-year-old daughter. She picked out what colors, what depth of shade, and where to put each color. And there we go. Look, like she did this. I did not let her handle the chemicals, but I did let her pick like where the colors were going and how much color was going to be there and what colors to use. And this is what she came up with. Like that is just blows my mind. I'm probably going to start doing like one run of a Lily May colorway each month. This was just the first time I let her play with the colors. And I'm so impressed. So, yeah, this is what we're going to give away this time. This is a 75-25 Superwash Merino nylon blend. And if you would like to try to win this skein of wool, winding skeins is like so difficult. I don't understand like why. Okay, if you would like to try to win this skein of wool, leave me a comment. And let's say, ask me anything. So hashtag AMA, ask me anything, and leave a question, something you're wanting to know about me, something you are wanting to know about my knitting style. Ask me anything, and if it's appropriate and I feel like sharing, like if you ask me something like super personal, I may not, answer that. But within reason, I'll answer pretty much anything. And speaking of questions, I have had a couple that I wanted to talk on. So the first question I want to talk on, I did answer this person previously, but I've had a couple other people ask, is where I got my whip tree. My whip tree is just a standard coat rack. I think that's kind of apparent with it. But my whip tree is, I think I got it from Wayfair back in like 2019. Like we had just moved into our old rental, and my husband had weekly meetings that he had to go into the office for, and so like he like would just hang his work shirts off of it. And then the pandemic happened and he stopped going into the office, and so I got to put my whip bags on here. That is where I got it. It's nothing special. I think it was like 20 bucks on Wayfair. Okay. Second is specifically about my socks. I do answer this pretty much every time I talk about my socks. That I do the Shadow Wrap Heel by Earth Tones Girl, which is Denise. This is what it looks like. And here is the side view. And it is, I do it all on the 9-inch circular. I absolutely I put my marker in, then I'll knit one side and then go back and purl. It's a little awkward at first, but it is absolutely possible to do the entire heel on your 9-inch circular while your other stitches are sitting there waiting. I love it. That's my preferred method because I literally use just my 9-inch circulars all the way up until about here. This is when it really is just too short in a circumference to finish the toe. I think it's like 6 rounds of the toe I have to do on Magic Loop, and that's it. And that makes my heart happy. So if you have any additional questions, anybody has any questions and you want to try to win a prize, #AMA, and ask me your question. Literally ask me anything. This has been a long one. We're already at an hour and a half. I talk a lot more than I think I do. That is my personal problem. I'm going to call it a night for here. I have a hot date with my hubby to go see the new Renfield movie. So I'll tell you how that was next time. In the interim, if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. If you got this far with me, thank you so much. If you're not a subscriber, why not? Subscribe, ring my bell, get notifications the next time I post a video. This is number 7 for the year so far. So I'm definitely getting better at posting more content regularly. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to leave those comments. All right. Love you guys. Bye.